iGourmand.
Eat, drink, man and woman, where the gourmandise is not a sin.
If you go to bed at night without learning something new that day, your day is not complete. Luc Paquin, 1973. Short introduction. Short introduction. I have been deeply involved with food since my childhood. I remember, when I was 4 to 5 years old, sitting in my grandmother's kitchen while she was cooking, and helping her in making cookies and other treats. Our family was from a small village on the Laurentian Mountains north of Montreal, Quebec, and, as with any good French family, food was an important part of our lives. I lived in Montreal with my parents, and every weekend we would take the trip up north to my grandparents' house and stay with them. You could get in the house, via the kitchen, at any hour of the day or night, and there would be something cooking on the stove or in the oven, and some industrial quantities of freshly prepared food in the refrigerator. I remember, when I was in my late teens, stopping at their place in the middle of the night after the clubs closed, and there was always a freshly baked ham in the refrigerator or some thick stew or soup slowly simmering on the stove. We would dig in without waking up anyone and fill ourselves with great food before going out again for more revelry. After my early childhood in my grandmother's kitchen, my interest for cooking became more formal. In my early teens, my mother was taking cooking lessons from one of the best French chefs in Montreal, and when she was returning home I would pore over her lessons and prepare the newly learned recipes with her. By the time I was at university, I was taking regular night classes in various forms of cooking, including many years of traditional Chinese cooking. From then on, cooking and later wine became my passions, and I have been involved professionally as a food consultant and wine buyer since the mid-80s as one of my many business endeavors. I lived in Quebec through my early 20s until I graduated from university. I then moved to Northern Ontario, where I worked in private practice. I was involved with 3 careers through the 80s, first as a dentist, second as a food and wine consultant, and third as a computer consultant. By the early 90s I abandoned the first career completely to dedicate myself primarily to the computer business. I have been involved with numerous IT startups since then, and also consulting on IT and the food/wine business. All of this while traveling the world for both pleasure and business. iGourmand. Curriculum vitae, Luc Paquin. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Zoom.